What's up, everybody? Happy Monday. Hope all you're having a great day so far today. Getting into this episode of GH. Well, hope you all had a great weekend as well. Getting into this episode, I enjoyed the Liz and Carly scenes. I really did. I thought that was very big of Liz to come and check on Carly and stuff like that. Because Lord knows, Lord knows, Liz and Carly done had some showdowns in their day. They done had some dust ups in their time now. I remember a couple of times where they was bitch smacking each other over Jason and whatnot. So, it's good that, they're on friendlier terms. And they could come together during one's, misfortune, and tragedy and whatnot. I also love the scene where Liz helped her out with that pesky little sink or whatever, where it was backed up or whatever. I loved it because it was such a nod to Liz's time at Kelly's and stuff when, she used to work there. Because I believe that was one of Liz's first jobs when she came to town and stuff like that. Because usually a lot of newbies that come into town start to work at Kelly's. At one point or another, you end up working there. So I love that. And, she was telling her about the whole sink situation and how that's always been a problem back in the day. I love that they show that side of Liz because not only her working there taught her a lot, but her being a single parent also taught her to be a little bit handy too. But I love it, man. I love that, Liz could be the big person and come near and support her and stuff because Bobby had an effect on a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? Even people that Carly didn't particularly get along with. Bobby had an adverse effect on all these people. And she definitely will be missed. So I'm glad that, Liz was there to provide a shoulder for Carly to cry on if she needed to and stuff like that. It was funny how Carly kind of alluded to them being friends or whatever. I said, okay, y'all friends now? All right. I'm cool with people being cordial and whatnot, being cool with each other. But friends, I wouldn't throw that word around loosely now. Because I'm pretty sure at some point or another, they probably going to get into it down the road. I'm pretty sure they will. But I enjoyed that scene, and I know Carly is trying her damnedest to make Kelly's pop and make it work because she want to make her mom proud. So I am glad that, Sonny went to go see her and stuff when he made bail. And I'm not even surprised Sonny went to go see her. I knew that was going to be the first place he went to when he got bail and stuff like that. I knew he was going to go see Carly. I knew it. Because no matter how many arguments him and Carly have, no matter how many times they're on the outs with each other, when the chips are down, they are there for each other. And I'm glad that they both are in a cordial place now. You know what I'm saying? They're letting all that stuff with their divorce and stuff, they're letting that hurt go, and being there for each other when it counts. So moving on from that, listen, Lucy and Tracy, I feel like they got a lot more in common than they think they have in common. Because even in the midst of tragedy, they still plotting and scheming on each other. Lucy was sitting there basically, telling Scott all about her regrets and all about how she was jealous of Bobby and stuff like that. She always wanted her forgiveness and all that. And as soon as she wiped them tears away, she was like, listen, we going to go pay tribute. But after we pay tribute to Bobby, the game plan is back on. We going to get Tracy ass. I said, see, the scheming don't ever stop. And I love it. It's true to Lucy's character. But I get where Lucy was coming from. She had just regrets like many people. When somebody died, you wish that you could have did things different. You could have, patched things up. But you know what? If you can't patch things up now, then you know what? You could work on that on the other side when you get there. You know what I'm saying? When you get to that other side and see that person again in the afterlife, you patch it up then. But I love that though, that Lucy spoke about her, past relationship with Bobby and stuff, even though it was a colorful history. I love that she deep down still has some respect for her, on certain levels and stuff like I believe Bobby had some respect for her too, even though they feuded with each other, but they had respect for each other. It was still mutual. And I think about it because I think about Y&R and I think about Victor Newman and Jack Abbott. And I'm pretty sure as much as they can't stand each other, I'm pretty sure that, they still got a respect for each other. That's how I felt about a lot of frenemies on these different shows or enemies or whatever. Some point or somewhere or another, when you feuded with somebody for a long time, you still got some type of respect for them. I feel like that from every show, from All My Children to One Life to Live, all the, everybody who feuded with each other on all these shows, they got respect. It's sad that it has to come out when somebody died, but But I love that Lucy ass don't never stop scheming. I live for it. I'm here for it. Even though her scheme is gonna, blow up in her face. It's already, doing that. But I love that, the scheming with her. She don't give a damn. Um, Speaking of, Tracy was on her scheming too. With BLQ, I get BLQ is very genuinely concerned about Tracy because she feel like Tracy's not dealing with this loss. Like she's not properly, she feels like she's not properly dealing with the loss of Luke and now the loss of Bobby. Like she just burying herself with deception and work and business talk. But BLQ has to understand that's how Tracy is. That's how Tracy copes. You know what I'm saying? Tracy, whatever scheme she got going, that's what she latches on to. That's her way of dealing with this tragedy, her pain, her hurt. That's her way of doing it. Because I feel like if she didn't have deception or business to focus on or a scheme to focus on, she probably would let her vulnerability show and she'd break down. You know what I'm saying? That's just how she is. I remember when Edward was dying, she used her hatred, her dislike of AJ to fuel her. And that's what she focused on. AJ and ELQ. That's what she focused on when Edward died. That's what she does. She focused on whatever fuse she going through at the moment. Because that's her coping mechanism. As crazy as it may sound, that shit works for some people. Tracy was back on her scheming game too. Because she went right up to Martin and started scheming, trying to get in his head, same way she tried to do Olivia. She trying to do Martin by making him think that Lucy and Scott got something going. That, old patterns pretty much. That's their MO. That's what they do. They fall back into old patterns and, something may go down between them. Martin wasn't buying it. Martin wasn't, paying it no bit of mind. But Tracy was laughing. She was like, shit, I warned your ass. See, I love how Tracy tried to get into people's head because it works. Even when the other person think that Tracy's not getting in their head, she does. She does. Because even when Olivia was like, oh, I should have never let Tracy get into my head. And guess what? Olivia's still sitting there thinking that something could be going on between Lois and Ned. And now Martin is going to start thinking something possibly could be going on between Lucy and Scott. I bet you if he see Lucy and Scott sitting together all chummy and smiling and she probably touching his shoulder or knee or something, he going to start thinking something. He going to let Tracy get into his head because Tracy's good with the mind games. Like she's proven to be smart with these mind games and stuff and getting into people's brain and making them think something even if it ain't going on. She going to make you think that and she going to drive you crazy with it. So that's smart on Tracy's part because Tracy's like, nah, I'm going to turn the tables on these hoes. Like, Tracy know that they after her, and she was like, good, I'm going to make them eat these words. I'm going to make them, fall into their old patterns. She said they misdeeds is going to be what, takes them down. This shit is hilarious, though. Like, Tracy is not playing no game. She on her A game. She on they ass. Little does she know, BLQ plotting against her too, but she don't see that coming up. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the thing. And I think if BLQ is smart, she'll use Tracy's, situation with Lucy and Scott to her advantage to further her own agenda. You know what I'm saying? While she's distracted with them, that's when you pull your plan out. You know what I mean? Like Tracy's too busy worried about deception and those two. She ain't got time to worry about BLQ and her plot. She think BLQ fully on her side. That's where you pounce. You know what I mean? That would be the smart thing to do. So anyway, moving on from that. I'm over Cody and Sasha. I like them together, I do, but I'm over this dragged out ass story of him being Mac's son, because they are dragging it. This chick, and I said it too, I said, what if those hairs on that brush wasn't his hairs or something? It was his hairs, but Sasha changed that shit. She put her own hair in it. She swapped his for hers. That was smart. I give her that. But I'm tired of them dragging this out because I feel like, what's the damn point? It's like, I understand he's worried about the legal ramifications if the truth came out. But if the WSB were to pursue charges against Cody, you have a bunch of people connected to Mac who would move heaven and earth to get those charges dropped on behalf of Mac, for his sake. I mean, think about it. The WSB brought up charges. Anna and Robert are on the outs with the WSB. And I'm pretty sure Anna got plenty of ammunition against them over the years that she could use to bargain to get his charges or potential charges dropped. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, from what we heard, Frisco may be coming back as director of the WSB. So I'm pretty sure Frisco probably more than likely dropped the charges. He'll make those go away. So I just feel like at this point, he needs to just tell everybody the truth. I just can't stand this whole dragged out nonsense. But it was funny watching, Sasha be ride or die for him, because I guess that's her way of, paying him back in a way, for helping her out. So anyway, moving on from that, I did enjoy the scene where Felicia and Maxie went over to BJ's gravesite to pay their respects and stuff like that. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love seeing that. And I'm glad that it's Kirsten Storms doing this scene instead of, the temp recast. I'm glad that it's Kirsten doing this scene. Because it hits different that it's her. Even though, Kirsten wasn't around during the beat, during that time with the heart and all that stuff, you know what I mean? But still, it's still better that it's her doing this rather than a temp. So I enjoyed that, them paying their respects to BJ and stuff. Because I know that's big for Maxie. I mean, she walking around with the girl heart now. Bobby's gone. You know what I mean? So this is major for her. Such an impact. So moving on from that, I'm loving Willow these days. I really am. I find her very interesting. I find her more interesting when she's on the outs with Michael. I find her to be, just a treat. Because I love how she could compartmentalize her feelings. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she was there for Michael and Jocelyn, paying her respects because Bobby died and stuff like that. And, embracing Michael and stuff like that. But I love how she made it abundantly clear to him that just because she's being nice and giving her condolences does not change their situation. It don't change their status. And she still want her space. I love it. I love it. Because I'm glad that she wasn't, like, trying to forgive him right now. And I think part of me feel like that's what Michael was hoping. That because she came by and stuff like that and gave her condolences, that means that they're on the track to getting back together. And I'm glad she shut that down. Like, no. This don't change nothing between us. She was like, listen, I'm going to be here for the family because she's still his wife. She's still going to be there for the family in their time of need. But it don't change a damn thing. She still want him out the house. And I love it. I'm like, good. I'm glad she's not letting his ass off that easy. Good for her. Now, Jocelyn, the last person to be giving her little 2 cents about this, because she knows a lot about secrets and lies her damn self. And I'm glad Michael asked her that question. Oh, have you ever, kept a secret or told a lie to protect somebody? Yeah, she has. She crept around. She was, being a hoe of the heart where Cameron was concerned. So she know a lot about that. But I'm glad, Jocelyn was like, listen, as bad as you messed up, she was like, listen, that's not important right now. She was like, we need to focus on, getting through this as a family. Like, this is a tough time right now. And I agree. Set aside y'all differences because this is about y'all grandmama. This is about paying tribute and paying respects to a great lady. We could worry about all this other stuff, the SEC nonsense, Nina, all this other bullshit. We could worry about this stuff later. You and Willow marriage, we could worry about this stuff at another date and time. We got a funeral to deal with right now. And I agree. So moving on from that, Diane ain't waste no bit of time. Diane said, listen, while I'm handling this whole Cyrus situation, trying to get you some bail, do you need me to handle your divorce? I was like, Diane was not playing no games. But I'm glad Sonny shut that down. I'm glad because now, after Dante done told him about Bobby and stuff, his mind right now is all over the place. He got these charges on him. Him and Nina are on the outs. Now Bobby done died, All he could think about right now is what his kids are going through and what, his ex-wife is going through. That's all he could think about right now. And I'm glad he shut that divorce shit down for the moment. He was like, listen, I ain't worried about Nina right now. He was like, that's the least of my worries. He said, she's not a priority to me right now. And I agree with him because you know what? It's a lot going on right now. His mind is just jumbled with thoughts. I'm not surprised Diane was able to get him some bail. I mean, I'm not shocked. It's Diane, of course. She's the superwoman of law. Of course she can get him bail. But I'm glad Dante was still there for him. Sonny tried to get a little, Sonny tried to get a little snarky, talking about some, oh, you care about me or whatever, but you had me arrested. First of all, sir, he doing his job. And it was better. Obviously, Dante chose to be the one to bring his ass in because he didn't want nobody else to do it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad that Dante could separate himself from being a cop to being a son. You know, he could keep those separate. You know what I mean? And, you know, I'm glad Sonny realized that, you know, Dante's not trying to lock you up. He was just doing his job, and I'm glad Sonny sees it. And I'm happy about the relationship that him and, you know, Sonny have right now, because they worked hard to get there. Because Sonny gonna need somebody to talk to. I totally don't blame Diane and Dante for being concerned about him the way they are, because with all this stuff going on, it's like I know his mind is just all over right now. So I see why they're concerned. Because with everything going on right now, Sonny could go to a dark place. And I know mentally he probably is going to a dark place right now. And I'm pretty sure they want to prevent that from happening. Because we all know how Sonny can be when he go to that little dark place. He could be a real SOB. So I'm pretty sure they're trying to minimize the damage here. But I feel like when he's up to it, at some point him and Nina need to have a sit down. They need to have a come to Jesus moment about their marriage and what the expectations of their marriage is. Because at some point he need to holler at her and they need to talk. You know, figure out this marriage. But anyway, that was pretty much everything in this episode. Hit the comment section, let me know what you all thought, and I will see you all later. Have a great night. Peace.